Let's take a look at some everyday lessons we can learn from this week's cybersecurity stories. I'm here with Karen Simon. How are you, Karen?
I'm well, Don. How are you doing?
Great. Let's first talk about the Emotet botnet, which in a strange twist, this botnet was actually hacked. Just give me a brief description. What happened there?
Yeah, this is a really strange one. Actually, one of the botnets was actually hacked by a different hacker. And instead of having malware implanted on your computer, instead you were just given some strange GIF of Hacker Man or something else of some picture just showed up. So actually you were spared the impact of that malware. So it was a very interesting development, but actually pretty good for the unsuspecting person who clicked on the wrong URL.
So any lesson that could be drawn from this?
It's a little bit tough. I would just say, in general, you got lucky in this case, but you really, again, have to be really careful about whether or not you're clicking on a URL that it could potentially be leading you to malware. So even though the 25% of the people who did click on this link got lucky, I think the same message applies, which is make sure that you know where you're going, and that's always the lesson we have, because phishing is just more and more is happening out there.
So let's talk about another interesting attack where the attacker was deleting a lot of people's data from their databases. Tell me about that.
Yeah, this one also was kind of a strange occurrence where we couldn't quite figure out the motivation for why someone would do this. But yes, these were MongoDB or Elasticstack databases, and they were exposed, and somebody was just going out there and deleting them. And this is actually continuing to go on right now. So it's just really important, I think, to either secure your data, put it back behind some kind of firewall or some kind of secured environment, or else you can encrypt the data, anything that allows it to know that you can stay secure. So we just need to get people to, again, kind of focus on your basic hygiene, and wherever you have your database, make sure you protect your data.
And finally, tell me about ProLock ransomware.
Yeah, this was an interesting story about the evolution of actually ProLock. It used to be something else, but I think the important message here is that the ransomware is becoming more and more sophisticated. The attackers are spending more time researching and digging into companies' files because the payouts are getting bigger and bigger. And I think the message here is that this has got to be defense in depth. You've got to be able to identify incursions into your data. You've got to have good programs of anti-phishing for your employees, and you have to have regular scanning and identification of anything that's changing within your environment that shouldn't be changed, so that you can identify when potentially someone's poking around back there, because these things are not happening just overnight. Somebody's in there for a while before the bad stuff happens. So there's some time frame that you have to stop the damage. So defense in depth.
Well, thanks for that great advice. And all of you watching, if you want to keep up with this great advice every week, please like and subscribe below. And if you want to explore these stories in more depth, click on the playlist below. We'll see you next time.